Well, welcome to our very first Coffee with the Cannabis Farmer live on Facebook. We've done Coffee with the Cannabis Farmers before, and they're always in person, and they've been at the Food Liaison in Carpinteria, and they're in high demand. And of course, we can't do any social gatherings, so we're bringing it to you live with one of our most respected and trailblazers, cultivators in our community. So I wanted to welcome Autumn Shelton to our Coffee with the Cannabis Farmer. Morning, Autumn.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. How are you doing? How's the family doing in isolation up there?
We're doing pretty good. I haven't left the house in 5 weeks other than to go for a walk around the block. I wouldn't say it's totally new because I was on maternity leave there for a while. So I didn't leave the house for a little bit there either, but we're making the best of it. We're lucky to have each other, and it's been nice to, at 5 o'clock, just go for a walk, a family walk around the block, or jump in the hot tub together. And I'm still working full time. We're both working full time. We have our own little separate areas in the house where we keep moving forward, and we have a babysitter actually coming to help us 4 days a week. So we are very fortunate in that, to help us with both kids.
So you have your hand, as you just said, both kids.
Both kids, yes. We have a 4.5-year-old and a 5-month-old. So definitely, being home all the time, but we're just trying to get outside as often as we can between the rain and make the best of this.
So Autumn, give us a little bit of background. We know that you're the CFO of Autumn Brands. So tell us how Autumn Brands, your name is Autumn Shelton. How was that just a coincidence that you came to work for Autumn Brands, or what's the background with that?
No, we actually started with a different name originally when we did do medical marijuana under the collective model days. And my partners, Hans, Hannah, and Johnny, their last name is Brand. And so when we decided to kind of really come up with more of a unique creative name and brand ourselves, we put the two together, and voila, we have Autumn and we have Brand. And Autumn means harvest and Brand is a brand. So it just flowed and worked perfectly.
I mean, seriously, you could not have matched two more perfect names for a cannabis company. It's really quite fabulous. So how long have you been how long has Autumn Brands been around? Because I mean, Autumn Brands started with you. So give us a little backstory on how you came to this industry. And were you always in this industry?
Well, I started as my now partner, then boss, Hans's financial controller for his cut flower business. How many years ago? 2014, sorry. And back then, it was really about trying to get the cut flower business back on track with so much, competition from South America. It was really difficult. And so we really worked really hard together to really cut all the costs in that cut flower business, but really it was just still a struggle. And we got approached by some people to lease out greenhouses and for medical marijuana. And shortly after, we decided to learn how to grow marijuana ourselves and start a collective as well. And so from there, we were preparing for this regulated market that started in 2018 to really transition into being business. Profit business. And so Autumn Brands, the brand, really started in May of 2018 when we decided we would brand ourselves. Prior to that, we were only selling in bulk because we really didn't understand what the consumer wanted. Because back then, they were selling jars in dispensaries, cannabis. There wasn't really a lot of packaged products. So once we really kind of set a goal of what we want to do, we came out with our first 1/8 glass jar, which we still have today. And we also had a lower line, which we since discontinued, and have added on to 7-pack pre-rolls, 1-gram pre-rolls, vape carts, and working on a topical right now as well, and a few other ideas.
So Autumn, coming from cut flowers, and prior to that, you were in commercial real estate, correct?
Correct.
So you went from commercial real estate into cut flowers, into cannabis. How more cumbersome and complicated has it been to transition from cut flowers into cannabis?
Well, yeah, I mean, the cannabis industry is tremendous. I mean, the headwinds that we're up against is never ending. Trying to first develop the regulations of this new industry, that was the lead up to this at a state and a local level, and then transitioning into really running a business along those lines, and then them changing and having to be prepared for them changing. Nothing has been harder than this local county process. We thought getting the state license was a real challenge with all the different government agencies that had to come and that we really had to do. But truly, this process with the county has truly been the hardest. It's been a year and a half of us really trying to get through this permitting process, and that is constantly ever changing, and new information that the county then wants. Once we fulfill one thing, it's something new. So that's been really, really challenging. And then you're trying to run a business on top of all of that, right? And become a brand and get something, a consumer product out there. So there's so many different elements to being in this industry, being a cultivator and being a brand that are constantly challenging. And, in the wake of something like this, where you never expect COVID-19, it's just another one of those headwinds that have come at us. But luckily, through all of my partners' business experience in life, as well as mine, and everything we've already gone through in this industry, it has allowed us to really be able to change quickly, adapt quickly, do what we need to do. One, for the company, two, for our employees, and three, for the community. And that's always been the most important for us.
How has COVID affected your business?
Well, we're very fortunate that cannabis in 8 states have actually deemed cannabis as essential. And they've really recognized that the true benefits of this plant, which is incredible. And that's really helped reducing the stigma. And so we have a responsibility of us being allowed to continue to operate a business to make sure our employees are taken care of. And so that's what we're trying to do the best at. We had to really change and create new standard operating procedures. We have 2 full-time employees now cleaning all day, sanitizing the entire farm all day long. Employees themselves need to spend the last half an hour of their days sanitizing. There are strict rules of constant hand sanitizer, washing their hands, and anytime a glove comes off, everyone's wearing gloves. Masks need to stay 6 feet apart the best they can. Remain home if you can remain home. If anybody's sick, don't come in. Please just stay home. So different things like that. And in order for our community to stay afloat right now, we're also doing whatever we can, but also with the knowledge that this could end tomorrow. So just because our business continues to operate doesn't mean that we have this influx of money, because sales could drop off tomorrow or anything. But at the same time, we are. So we're doing whatever we can to get back to the community. And right now, all the other cannabis growers, part of Carp Growers, we've come together and we're buying lunches from the local restaurants twice a week. And we're about to bump it up to 3 times a week, I think, and bring more on. And so our employees are fed, because they may still have jobs, but you know what? Their family members probably don't still have jobs. So they need extra help and extra food, and our local restaurants as well.
Yeah, how many employees are there in the Carpinteria Valley around cannabis? I'm just trying to think how many lunches that are being bought on a weekly basis.
I think there's approximately around 1,000 employees. So that's a lot of people getting fed, and a lot of lunches getting
So
made.
you're saving a lot of our food establishments in Carpinteria.
They're saying we're helping keep the lights on, which is an incredible thing. And we're really proud to be able to do that. And Carp Growers also is contributing to the 93013 fund, which helps feed the food banks, provide money to the food banks and other community members in need as well.
So Autumn, you have not seen a decline in sales?
No, we saw a boost. I think people were starting to really hoard in the beginning. It was kind of unsure what was going to happen. I think cannabis has become a little harder for some people that were in the routine of going to a dispensary, because now they might have to do it curbside pickup rather than being able to go in and talk to them. But at the same time, they're understanding delivery, and they're getting more cannabis delivered. Understand the ease of that. So there's a whole new mind frame and behavior shift here of how people are kind of focusing on it. So I think we're going to see maybe a little bit of a leveling out, but it's tough to say. Right now this is 420s coming up, and normally this is the biggest boom, a holiday of the year for the cannabis industry. So we're still seeing sales go strong, but you're not seeing this, I think, just like skyrocket. It's just going to be kind of more of a leveling off of people that may not be able to afford it anymore because they're not working as much. But on the same token, you're going to see a lot more people that are becoming more educated and understanding the benefits of cannabis and don't want to just sit at home drinking all day. They want to feel better with, and they understand that cannabis can do that. And so you're going to see a lot more customers as well. I think I have a little visitor.
Oh,
hi, buddy. Oh,
hi.
You want to say hi?
A little bit. Hi, Abe.
How's it going?
Hey, let's talk a little bit about the news that came out last week about the budgeting for our county of Santa Barbara, and how cannabis dollars, how cannabis dollars are really kind of being the saving grace for the county budget.
Yeah, they really are. It's interesting, it's quite a turn in understanding how important cannabis really is for this community. And, Santa Barbara already lost a lot of tax dollars with the oil industry going, and with losing all the short-term rentals as well. So it's really great to see that cannabis can help and provide income for our county when we really need it, because they're losing a lot of sales tax right now with all the restaurants being shut down. So it's great that Steve Lavanino really was able to express that.
I think that in concert with cannabis being really the cleanest, most environmentally friendly crop that we have seen in our area in a very long time. And then B, as you mentioned, the philanthropic giving and commitments that this industry has made to our community is, really just a win-win-win for everybody. I mean, I know that there are some of those, that very few, that do not see the benefits, but we that live up here and we that live in the community, I mean, we're really grateful to the trailblazers, because you've barely touched on this, but the resources and the capital and the skill set that it takes, and the endurance that it takes to be one of your legally licensed, compliant cannabis business owners. I think only 1%, not even 1% of the population could have the mindset to bring that fruition. Would you agree to that? I mean,
I agree. This is not for the light at heart. This is definitely a very difficult process to get into. I've spoken to numerous people that want to get in. They think it's going to just be this easy process, and it's not. It's very challenging, and the challenge doesn't end, and there's multiple different facets of it. Like I mentioned, it's the regulatory system at the local and the state level, just being a brand and trying to run a normal business, and then trying to have people that want to, basically stop your business, stop your family's livelihood, and something that you've worked really, really hard for, and that you're trying to do everything absolutely compliant and right, and really provide a product and this plant to society that really can change lives forever.
And the changing of lives, just as we begin to wrap this up, what do you see on the horizon here of cannabis, not just locally, Santa Barbara County, but California, our country, and our world? I mean, where would you kind of put that pin in the next year or 5 years of this industry?
Yeah, I'm really going to see, I think we're really going to see the stigma diminish dramatically after it being deemed essential. I mean, it was already starting to go that path, but I think we're going to see, it speed up quite a bit, where people are really starting to understand how important this plant is. As far as legislature go, everything that's getting put out there right now is basically to stimulate the economy or to provide health and wellness to people. And they're understanding that cannabis provides health and wellness, and we can provide a stimulus as well. So right now it's really exciting that they're trying to really push the Safe Banking Act through the next stimulus package, and Nancy Pelosi came out too and said she's really supporting that as well. So hopefully we can see some action there, because you know what, cash carries germs, and we really need to be able to operate in the healthiest way we possibly can right now. And for businesses that, or for customers especially, that have to go to an ATM right now to go get cash first, touch a surface, and then go and get their medicine or go and get what they need, that's backwards. So we need to do whatever we can right now to eliminate anything that could cause any type of transference of any of these germs or this virus moving forward.
And where do you see the health and wellness? I mean, do you see, well, I'll back up a little bit. I mean, we know that the largest growing group here of cannabis consumers are like the 50 to 80-year-olds looking to transition away from their pharmaceuticals or their sleep aids or their over-the-counter medication. Where do you see, as far as products go, the demand? Is it going to be in bombs? Is it going to be in salves? Is it going to be in tinctures? Is it going to be in patches?
Well, cannabis, affects everybody differently, and the different formats that you take cannabis or consume cannabis are going to make you feel different. But you're definitely going to see, I think, a lot more of these salves, especially for anybody with kind of pain relief, and they're going to start to understand that you really need that THC and full spectrum plant to be able to get the benefits out of it and get that real pain relief. And I've bought products for my grandparents and friends, and it's been life-changing for them. You'll see people, the tinctures can be a little tricky for some people because they can do a little too much or a little too little. So these microdosing tablets or different products that are out there are really helpful as well. But also just understanding that you're not going to overdose from cannabis. So I'm also someone that I'm being a mom, I only like a couple hits off a joint, and that's perfect for me. And so you don't need to have a tremendous amount. You don't have to actually have someone just microdose for you. You just go slow yourself if that's the way that you want to consume. So I think you're really going to see people kind of start to understand that and try it a little bit more, and really understand the benefits of how this can help them through a process and crisis like this.
Well, Autumn, it's been a pleasure. We thank you so much for hanging in there with us for us to get this going. And Autumn Brands, you can be purchased locally at the pharmacy, at Coastal. What are some of the other dispensaries locally that or even throughout California, because we have viewership actually throughout the country. So,
well, best to go to probably our website. We're in about 200 dispensaries and delivery services from the top of California to the bottom of California, and we have a easy map and lists right on there. So that would be the best place to go to find the closest one to you.
Well, Autumn, thank you, and blessings to you and your family. May we continue to stay safe and healthy, and have a wonderful weekend.
You as well. Great to see you.
Thank you. Bye.